Hello, welcome back to Golden Arrow. Yeah, alright. Last episode we did some stuff with World 3. I think this episode we're gonna continue that. Yeah, we have one more level to go. I don't know how hard this is gonna be, but it looks pretty daunting. So we see how it is. This is level 12. The box. Okay. This is medieval music. It's kind of loud a bit. I think it's fine. Okay, so the box. We have one box here that we can push around. Our goal is to get all the arrows in the four corners. Each of them are not held up by anything, so it looks like the goal might just be to... Oh. Oh. Okay, that just breaks everything, huh? Okay. Yeah. That does just break everything. I'm gonna have a bit of a problem. So it looks like green might be a big issue. Green needs to like sort of wrap around the edge. None of the other arrows to really do that. Blue is free. Blue can just fall out of this hole. As long as it doesn't get stuck in a corner or anything. Purple, well, purple still needs to be... Purple kind of also needs to wrap around. I mean, they all kind of need to exit through the middle, and since they don't fall in this direction, they do have some problem. They need to all stack on something. So it's almost like I've got a stack on like blue or something. I can sort of do that, right? Maybe. And get blue out. So for now, it's almost as if... I kind of want to get green out of the way. Okay, so like my thought is that blue gets into one of the corners and gets stuck there first, allowing there to be a sort of like suitable platform for other things to be slid out through the hole. Right? Green is going to be a big problem actually. Because green is going to come out with another object holding it up. So it's going to be like purple needs to push it out or something. I mean, that doesn't look that bad. Because I can sort of do this, right? This blue arrow will hold up red. Kind of. This gets them in the right positions. I can push the box to slide between red and green here. And then I can come out here and I think we're done. Whoa. Okay, I think I got the idea of that level really quickly. I think that's it. That's level... That's World 3. Okay. Yeah, the idea was to understand that blue is the only free one, so blue has to be the one acting as like a platform to hold the other arrows as they get slid out. And then green was one that was very stuck, so it needed help, and then the other two were, you know, red and purple respectively, I suppose. Nice. Alright, that's very cool. Moving on. This is World 4, The Village. Squid Game. Alright. Whoa. Okay, I thought there was gonna be music for a bit. We have... a new arrow. Whoa. Oh, is this a second player? Sure. Okay. So I can control two characters at once now. Okay. I can definitely tell that... So red falls in on its own. Red is basically almost free. If I can get these guys all out of the way... Well, red and green are currently stuck, but yeah, this guy's red in. I'm thinking if I manage to get this to happen, that seems good. Alright, the ambience actually has its own tone, so like I'm not gonna play any music for now. Oh, what the heck is that music? Maybe I should just mute this ambience, honestly, I'm not sure. This is a good first move. The idea is I sort of want... So I sort of want this to happen. Not really. Oh, this looks okay. This looks less okay. It's like I sort of want this. What? No. Hold on. Yeah, this is definitely incorrect. Okay. Let's reset this. I'm not really understanding the puzzle here. Alright, you know what? We're muting the ambience. That's the ringing sounds are a little bit distressing to me. It's very uh water torture kind of sound. Sorry, it's like yeah, it just that's what it just sounds like to me. Cause I don't have the ability to predict exactly when the things are going to happen. Alright, so it definitely looks like I need to hold these two arrows up with something. So that's why I have a second player here for. It's gonna hold up the green arrows. The difficulty is... well, yeah, we kind of noticed that the difficulty... We kind of realized the difficulty was in... the difficulty was in getting this sort of like in here, right? I think we figured out that we could do this, but like these two arrows can't really get pushed in at the same time. If we tried to push in one or the other, like they would just get stacked eventually. I think one way I could do it is have blue sort of act as a something to hold this up. The reason why is because if they were being held at these two positions instead, I could just push them both in through this gap and they will fall into place. And then blue, falling this way, could then be pushed into place on its own. Yeah, okay. So that's the goal. Okay, well, I think one way I can actually do this is by double pushing this way. That looks interesting, I think. Right? Yes, because I can use this little nook over here to push you in here. Well, this doesn't let me really do what I want. I wanted one of the arrows to be inside already. Okay. So what if instead it was just... how do I get these guys out of the way? Can I get these guys out of the way, please? There you go. There's like a slight difficulty with this, I guess. Ooh, I don't like that. I sort of want this sort of thing to happen. Ah. What in the world is going on here? This is what I want, right? Is it what I want? Like, this double push looks very good. But obviously the double push kind of fails because there's no actual arrow inside. There's no player inside to catch these guys. And like pushing in just fails regardless of what you push in. So, like, is it true that there must have already been someone inside to hold these things up? I think it looks interesting enough. But the problem is that the blue seems to want to be here first, but if it was here... Okay, hold on. Oh man, working with two players is incredibly challenging. How's this? Well, yeah, if that were the case, then I just wouldn't be able to... fit any arrow inside. It has to be a single arrow push that causes this combination of green and blue to be here and here, I think. Unless that's not the case. Unless there's another way to do this without having the blue arrow be stuck. I don't want the red arrow to be stuck, because if it was stuck in this row, then in this column, then it couldn't get into its goal. So it has to be a blue arrow, which can fall this way afterwards. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do the exact setup, but one over to the left, because that does leave a hole for all other players to enter. So like it could look like this. Yeah. That's bad. I can... I think that looks fine. I can do that. I wonder if maybe I didn't want to really do this. Maybe I wanted to do something like that instead. That looks good. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, one player goes in, the other player pushes in from here, and we basically have our setup that I wanted. The vision. There you go. And surprisingly enough, this actually gets the white arrow stuck. Or what would have been the brown arrow if I didn't shuffle things around too much. But yeah, okay. What a puzzle for the first level of World 4. Jeez. We're already getting into like the really hard stuff, I guess. Okay. Level 2. Tiny puzzle. I've seen tinier. It looks like it's going to have to be something... No, I think it's a double push puzzle. Right? It's to push 2 arrows. The idea is to push 2 arrows here and here at the same time so they fall, and then they get stuck here. I think. It could definitely not be the case. Okay, I want to be able to like push this in like so. Yeah, because otherwise it seems you have to get any of these arrows down here. Like if I were to get them down here in a regular manner, I would need to like... Well, I mean, it wouldn't be too challenging, I guess. Because one way I could do it is by doing this sort of thing. Oh, yeah, you see there's some challenge involved. But like, yeah, I mean, that would sort of get it, but how would the other side work? It wouldn't really. So like, I really do think it's a double pushing. So I need to separate these 2 characters. And then somehow push in from the 2 ends at the same time. That does seem a little easier said than done. I guess I'll stack them up like that. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess I can do this. I want to separate them. Ooh. That might be a problem. I'm seeing that might be another way to do this. Well, I say another way. I don't know if there really is another way of doing this. Because I can do this and like sort of like move around the bottom character, which kind of somewhat gets them in the right positions, right? The only problem is I can't really move up from this point. Yeah, if there's an arrow ever stuck here holding something up, it's gonna be very difficult for the second arrow to do its job, because it has to move up, which kind of fails whenever you do this. It's not impossible, but it at least looks somewhat challenging. Yeah, it looks somewhat challenging. Okay, can we really perform the double push. Like, is it actually possible? It looks fairly challenging in this setup because how do I get these guys to be so far apart? How do I get these guys to be really far apart? Maybe it's not there though, but like, yeah, I mean, it seems impossible at this point. It's possible on this point, but only from the other side. So like, this is technically valid, but we're on the wrong side. So like, you know, you get this sort of idea, but not really. Yeah, I mean, this is a very good looking setup, but it's not good enough. So I feel like it has to be an arrow inside catching stuff. So like, it looks like this, but not really. Yeah, because one of these two arrows on the top will get stuck if I do that. It won't be able to be pushed. If I did this, we sort of fail. If I put you here instead, let's just say I did that, and we were like really far apart when that happened. Like this far apart maybe. You get this sort of setup, but also that doesn't really work. I suppose you can somewhat do this sort of thing, but like you can get half the setup by doing that. The other half is a bit of a problem. Because to get the other half out, you're gonna have to like squish. So you definitely just can't get these to be on opposite sides at the same time. Unless you already did that and you maintain this distance at all times. Somehow. But that doesn't look possible. It doesn't seem like... It doesn't seem doable, I guess. Oh, that looks interesting. In fact, this will let us separate ourselves far enough. Well, okay. Okay, if I wanted to... if I wanted white to be a bit higher... I sort of want white to be a bit higher. Because I want to be able to push up and push over. But... I mean, we can't really push up at all. We can't push left or right because that squishes us. Like, this looks really good. Like, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go as far as to say this looks really good, because I don't know if it does. It looks kind of terrible. Yeah. I don't quite know about this one. Okay. Yeah, this is a tiny puzzle, but this puzzle is not very tiny. It's not really very tiny at all. And we're kind of just fiddling around with these right now. I do love that we can do this sort of thing. If I could get this setup to be... Honestly, I don't quite know what I'm doing. Pretty evident, honestly. I don't quite know what I'm doing. This looks interesting. Not really. Does it look interesting? I guess this can happen. Ooh, oh, hold on. We got that. So we already have one set done. And the other set can be done equally easily. Oh. So what did I do to get this initial front set, or first set? It was the typical method that I pushed in a set, I did this. I think the key move was the ability to swap so that brown was further to the left, which allowed me to push green on. Once I got this set out, I could just leave, and because those were balanced with each other, I could use the two arrows again, which was a very simple task afterwards. Interesting. Okay, snail. Does this look like a snail? A little bit. Okay. So... I think it looks like... What does it look like? It looks like I want this sort of setup. Something has to hold you up. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. So, one blue here is the most stable that we have. I feel like I need an arrow here to hold up the blue as I push it upwards. It's either going to be red itself, which actually right now it looks maybe slightly doable. Okay, hold on. See if I can sort of pull this off a little bit. I want this. I want this, and then I want to be able to push this way. But even then, we kind of get a bit stuck. I need white to be on the right of the red arrow now because I want to be able to push it this way. And even if I could push it this way, we still need a blue arrow here first. So it's like, okay. What? Oh, no. What do I want? I feel like there's a great deal of together pushing here. Like, this together pushing feels important. I'm not sure why. Maybe I can do something with this? Not really. I mean, that's technically valid, but... Yeah, I mean, I can't really do anything with this. Okay. So... Push... We know something like this seems to work, but not really. End goal is someone holds you up here, so very likely it's just two characters in here, which means this comes first. Possibly? Seems like so. What vision would work? I would say it's a setup that looks like this. So blue arrow is here. Blue arrow is here. Red arrow is here. Like, I could push this entire setup upwards, like so, like an escort almost. Blue arrow will fall when I do this. Red arrow will fall upwards, so I don't want that. If blue arrow is here and red arrow is here, This could happen. No. Okay, hold on. Now there's something better I can do here. If I could just transport blue arrow here first. Now I could just transport red arrow like here. And then push it right this way. So maybe our first goal is to transport one blue arrow here. It seems like this is valid, but no, it's not. Well, if I could do that without ruining this blue arrow, that would be very nice. How would I do that? Well, if I already split you guys up, this is valid. I think that's it. Oh, no, no, no. I want to be up below the blue arrow to push it up. Right, I never want to push an arrow against the wall like that. It's only this way, but this way is bad. However, if I could just set it up like this, I think I'm basically good. But like this kind of doesn't really give me much. This up push will always force you to move up. And that is true for this arrow. For this arrow, it's a little harder to say. How to get an arrow like that? Like, this looks bad, but the only other option is if this diagonal pair were below the blue arrows, which right now is impossible. However, it might be possible if I did that. Ooh, hold on. But no, that ruins this arrow, doesn't it? That ruins this arrow unless you're already in here. So it would look like this, and then brown arrow needs to be here. Okay, hold on, let me think about this. I'm wondering if I can get red out of the way by doing that. The way I would like to do this is... but then I can't push you down, really. If I were to do it the other way around, where I pushed you down and then pushed red in. Okay, hold on. I have another idea. What if I split you guys up? But how do I split you guys up like that? The way I want to sort of do it is if you guys were split up like so, then I could push. If you guys were split up like that, then I could do this. We still get stuck. Oh, okay, that's still gonna be a problem then. That's a lot more of a problem than I thought it would be. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be more of a problem than I thought it would be. Let's not try that then. Let's do something else. I think red arrow can still be manipulated somewhat. I'm wondering if it's ever useful to manipulate the red arrow. Looks really bad. But I can do this. Oh. That is a fascinating move. That does get the set that we want. Yeah, that's the set that we want. Huh. That involved using this move. Look at that. So this happens, which firstly is really awkward. Like, I'm basically using the red arrow here to block blue from falling by the balance. Wow, that is such a move. But yeah, by now pushing the red back into position. Back into position looks a bit bad actually. Because how are we gonna get that one out? We do get this into the position that we want. But now we're a bit stuck because both of these arrows shouldn't block the way. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's a more delicate balance. Actually, I can like kind of slide in and maybe play around with this balance. I don't know if I want to really play around with this balance. It's a bit delicate. It's a bit too delicate of a balance. I mean, I suppose this is a balance I could pull off, but it really is only a balance I can pull off in certain directions. I mean, yeah, this looks fine actually. Red is now free, and we do have the 2 arrows in the spot to escort blue. And then now I can just push this arrow out of the way. This gives us red, I think. Which means I think if I try hard enough, this move should be good. Good, but still doesn't give us red. We want the same escorting setup, right? As the one we did just now. No, we want a different escorting setup. We want an escorting setup that looks like this. Because it allows me to hold red up and then push red this way. But how do I even set that up? Like, that just looks impossible because how does red even get onto you? If it's pushed. Yeah, so like... It needs to be pushed from the left. So something has to be on its left. But nothing can be on its left, right? Unless after being on the left... Maybe another balance setup is necessary. Ooh. If another balance setup were necessary, how would that work? Like, yeah, this looks okay, but I can't really move anywhere. Because that just falls. I can sort of do this sort of thing. But yeah, the escorting setup is just messed up. It's wrong. Any move fails. Because I can't, yeah. I need to be able to swap positions. So there must be a place where none of these 2 arrows, or in particular white arrow here, can't move right. Because brown arrow needs to move right, but white arrow cannot. So there must be a blocking available. Either that, or we need to be able to hold. We need to be able to hold. Okay, we need to be able to hold red in some position. How do I get blue up there first? I got blue up there by doing this. Right. Was red available for... that looks like an okay... Yeah, that looks maybe a bit okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is it. Wait, no it doesn't. It's almost it. I just need to be able to have something down here to block the way. Ooh, but how do I push up without having this be up here? I think... Can't say red goes first, right? No. I suppose if this happened, this is an okay spot. But no, because like to get blue in here, first brown must be out of the way. So like you can't just put red in first. And this out doesn't really work. It's close to working. I wonder if the other blue ever has any part in this. Or if it's just like some sort of locking D-cheese mechanism. I've seen a lot of locking D-cheese mechanisms in my life. Nope. I cannot. I can't push you up because blue is just going to not be right. There needs to be a delicate balance again, I think. And the delicate balance was already lost a long time ago, I think. It appears that the delicate balance should... where was the delicate balance again? That delicate balance should... Like, this looks okay. Okay, so next idea. If blue over here were pushed up here to prevent any blocking, could I still do things? I think the answer is yes. That's a delicate balance. And I can move out of the way. So brown get out of the way, white get out of the way. That's a delicate balance that is shifted slightly. If I could... hold on. I'm thinking of something. If this could happen, that's a delicate balance. I can move up. Ooh. And can I just push the delicate balance out of the way now? Kind of. I still need this setup inside, which is a bit challenging. Oh no, I don't. So it's either something pushing up here, or something down here to hold up red as I push up the blue on the right. I think the one of them is a lot easier to pull off. Is it? Yeah, I think if I move this blue out of the way, I got it. So put you guys together. Hold on. Because, yeah, this move gets us stuck. And we're back to the original bad position. This is bad. We want this diagonal to sort of like interlock with this. But like that's really hard to pull off. Because to get into here you have to move up. But you can't move up into this position, so. It's almost like we're stuck again. Or are we? If I did this... I mean... Maybe... It's still kind of stuck, right? Yeah, blue is just kind of stuck in general. If I want to push blue up, then red gets stuck. I don't know how easy it is to achieve that delicate balance again. This delicate balance being pushed upwards seems pretty bad, but like this is really the only place a delicate balance can really be shifted down from. Oh, you know what I can do? I can use this wall over here to hold something in this row, which means if I separated you guys far enough, this becomes possible. There you go. That allows me to push the delicate balance up and then shove everything in. Yeah, very nice. And then for our final trick, it's a very simple holding up like so. Nice! Alright, what a puzzle. That was really cool. That felt... yeah, that was actually really nice. I like that a lot. Okay. Fun. We're getting to the really hard stuff now, but I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Yeah. We're gonna continue with these levels next time. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.